The champagne flute trembled in my hand, its bubbles catching the chandelier's glow, as my wife's whisper sliced through the wedding's hum. If I could do it again, I'd choose differently. Her words, meant for her friend, landed like a blade in my chest. Sarah's laugh followed, light and teasing, but it couldn't mask the weight of what I'd overheard. I stood frozen, a stranger in my own skin, as the bride and groom swayed under fairy lights, oblivious to the fracture forming 10 feet away. The reception hall was a tapestry of velvet drapes and candlelit tables, the air thick with jasmine and laughter. I'd been adjusting my tie, half listening to the band's rendition of a love ballad, when I caught Sarah's voice behind a floral arch. She hadn't seen me, her back turned, her emerald dress clinging to her like a secret. Her friend Mia leaned closer, her eyes wide with curiosity. "What do you mean?" Mia asked, her voice a conspiratorial hush. Sarah's pause was a heartbeat too long. "You know," she said, "sometimes you realize too late what you really want." My pulse thundered, drowning out the music. I wanted to believe she meant something trivial. Our house, our city, our life's small choices. But her tone, soft and heavy with regret, told a different story. I set the flute down, my fingers numb, and forced a smile as a cousin clapped my shoulder, oblivious to the storm brewing inside me. Sarah's words echoed, a riddle I wasn't ready to solve. We'd been married 7 years, our life a mosaic of quiet mornings and shared dreams. Sarah, with her sharp wit and eyes that held entire galaxies, had always been my anchor. But lately, there were cracks. Her late nights at the office, her phone angled just out of view, her laughter less frequent. I'd chalked it up to stress, to her new promotion, to the grind of routine. Now those excuses felt like lies I'd told myself. I watched her across the room, her head tilted back in laughter as she danced with Mia. The way she moved, effortless and radiant, twisted something in my gut. Was she hiding from me, even now? I scanned the crowd, searching for clues, a glance, a touch, a name. My eyes landed on Ethan, her co-worker, leaning against the bar. He was all charm, his suit tailored to perfection, his gaze lingering on Sarah a fraction too long. I'd met him at her office Christmas party last year, his handshake firm, his smile too easy. Sarah had mentioned him casually, too casually, over dinners, her voice brightening when his name came up. I'd ignored it then, but now it burned. "Mark, you good?" My brother's voice pulled me back. Tom's brow furrowed, his beer bottle dangling in one hand. I nodded, forcing a grin. "Just soaking it in," I said, my voice steady despite the chaos in my chest. Tom didn't press, but his eyes lingered, like he sensed the fault lines beneath my calm. The night wore on, each moment a tightrope walk. Sarah found me during a slow dance, her arms slipping around my neck, her perfume a familiar comfort. "Having fun?" she asked, her smile warm but guarded. I searched her eyes for the truth, but they were a locked door. "Yeah," I lied, my hands resting on her waist, feeling the distance between us grow. "You." She nodded, her gaze flickering away, and I wondered if she felt the weight of her own words. Later, I slipped outside, needing air. The garden was a maze of roses and moonlight, the music a distant hum. I replayed her whisper, dissecting every syllable. "Choose differently." Did she mean me? Our marriage? Or someone else entirely? My mind spiraled, conjuring images of stolen moments, secret texts, a life I didn't know. I hated myself for doubting her, but the seed was planted, its roots curling deep. My phone buzzed in my pocket, a text from Sarah. "Where'd you go? Miss you." The words felt like a lifeline, but they didn't erase the shadow. I typed a reply, then deleted it, my thumb hovering over the screen. Instead, I wandered deeper into the garden, the gravel crunching under my shoes. That's when I heard it, her voice again, low and urgent behind a trellis. "I can't keep doing this," she said, her words sharp with frustration. My heart stopped. I edged closer, hidden by shadows, and saw her silhouette beside Ethan's. "It's not fair to him," she continued, her voice cracking. Ethan's response was too soft to catch, but his hand grazed her arm, and she didn't pull away. The world tilted, my breath shallow, as I watched my wife unravel our life in a stranger's touch. I wanted to scream, to storm forward, to demand answers. But my feet were led, my voice trapped. Instead, I retreated. the garden blurring through tears I hadn't realized were falling. Back inside, the reception felt like a mockery, vows and toasts ringing hollow. I grabbed a whiskey from the bar, the burn grounding me as I wrestled with what to do next. When Sarah returned, her face was a mask of normalcy. "There you are," she said, her smile too bright. "I was looking for you." I studied her, searching for the woman I thought I knew. "Was Ethan keeping you company?" I asked, my voice sharper than intended. Her eyes widened, just for a moment, before she laughed it off. "He's just a friend, Mark. You know that." But her hand trembled as she reached for her drink, and I knew she was lying. The drive home was silent, the city lights streaking past like accusations. At home, Sarah went to bed, claiming exhaustion, but I couldn't sleep. I sat in the dark, her phone on the coffee table, its screen a siren call. I'd never snooped before, but the weight of her words pushed me past reason. I unlocked it. Her passcode was our anniversary, a cruel irony, and scrolled through her messages. There it was, a thread with Ethan months long. Late-night texts, inside jokes, plans to meet. Nothing explicit, but the intimacy was unmistakable. One message, dated last week, gutted me. "I wish I'd met you first." My vision blurred, the phone slipping from my hand. I wanted to hate her, but all I felt was grief, for us, for the life I thought we had. The next morning, Sarah found me in the kitchen, her phone still on the table. Her face paled as she saw it, guilt flickering in her eyes. "Mark," she started, but I held up a hand. "Why?" I asked, my voice raw. She sank into a chair, tears spilling. "I don't know," she whispered. "I love you, but I got lost." Her confession was a knife, twisting deeper with every word. She spoke of feeling trapped, of wanting more, of Ethan being a fleeting escape. But it wasn't fleeting. It was a choice repeated over months. I stood, my heart a battlefield of love and betrayal. "I heard you at the wedding," I said, my voice breaking. "You'd choose differently." Her sob was a confession, but it wasn't enough. I walked out, the door's click echoing like a gunshot. In the car, I drove aimlessly, her words looping in my mind. The twist wasn't her betrayal, it was mine. I'd ignored the signs, built a fantasy of us. And now it was ash. The road stretched ahead, empty, and I realized the real betrayal was how I'd let myself believe we were unbreakable.